Hannah, you are my definition of love and perfect and forever and all the pretty words I know to describe the unspeakable thing I feel. You are my beauty, my happy, my funny, my best friend, my home. You are my left hand, my right hand, my head, and my toes. I will be honest with you, even when it's hard. I will be faithful and patient and kind. I will spend every day of my life trying way too hard to make you laugh, feeding you bagels and chocolate chip cookies, keeping you warm and safe and happy. I will also keep doing the things you inspire me to do, like teaching, changing lives, and writing books that change lives, because somebody's got to do it. And I just want to make you proud. Really, all I want is to deserve you, and I will live my whole life trying. I love you.
You think of these two incredible families who have produced these two incredible people who could really sit back and just sort of enjoy the amazing lives they've created. But these two live their values. They are really focused on the world beyond themselves. And that is something that I am so very proud of. I've said this before, you two are the antidote to cynicism. You just are all that is good and right and hopeful in the world. And we just get to be part of that world and part of that circle. And I couldn't be more thrilled.
Hannah was fresh off the boat from London when we first met, in middle school, just before 7th grade, in the Wainfleet gym. Upon first glance, when I met Hannah, I must admit I was a bit intimidated. I was in awe of this very tall, beautiful brunette. My second impression, of course, was the cutting-edge fashion. The thick silver Tiffany's necklace with a heart pendant, bell-bottom designer jeans, and a shirt with a British flag. Hannah, even in that awkward middle school phase, was beautiful, mature, confident. Since that first day we met, my awe of this powerful, passionate, unafraid woman only grew.
High school brought the five of us together, 5 very different and fiercely independent girls. From lathering ourselves in butter at Kineo in hopes of achieving a killer tan, to jumping off of a 40-foot bridge at Salmon Falls at 6 a.m. before school. I think that happened more than once. Not to mention all of the shenanigans that I can't share with you all tonight. It's undeniable just how fun and full of life Hannah is.
I should mention that we're all here tonight because of some very important advice I gave to Jeremy about 10 years ago. You know what this is. Yeah, you touched that head. It was Thanksgiving in New York, and in a moment of brutal honesty, I told my brother that he would need to secure a wife by the time he was 30. Why? He asked sweetly. Because, I said, motioning towards the top of his head, where a very small, yet still hard to see bald spot was starting to peek out. You're gonna need to secure a wife before that thing takes on a life of its own. Well, Jeremy has carried through, and here we are. And I might add, the bald spot hasn't grown as quickly as I had anticipated. He still has some good years left. Sure, we grew up in the same family, we were raised by the same parents, I think. and have the same values. We even both went to liberal arts colleges, mine ranking only slightly higher than his. But upon graduating from college, our lives started to head in pretty different directions. I sold my soul to a demanding career in the New York art world, enduring long days and working with clients like SAC Capital and Republicans. Jeremy decided to put that high-powered career on hold. When I think of this period of Jeremy's life, I think of that opening scene in The Big Lebowski, where the dude wanders through a grocery store at 4 in the morning and purchases a single carton of milk with a check for 69 cents. Jeremy had a lot in common with the dude. But there simply isn't a better brother out there. Jeremy is wonderful to me. He lets me tease him mercilessly as I'm demonstrating. And he laughs about it, not lightly in the I'm just being polite kind of way, but in the guttural way that tells you he's really laughing with you. It's an extremely rare quality and one I deeply admire.
"28.5 years ago, a miracle happened for me. I found myself giving birth a second time. When Jeremy came into our family, I could not believe my good fortune. I did my best to raise this boy to be sensitive to his goddess side. He was raised in an artistic environment. He wore flowers in his hair at the Steiner May Day festivities. We baked Christmas cookies. And as many of our friends were gay, he was well exposed to gender neutrality. But Jeremy had a kindness of heart from the very beginning that still radiates from his being today.
Jeremy doesn't come on like a bright light. He's little probes and strobes, and you get to know him a little bit at a time. And as you do, each time it's special. Each time you're just lighted up. And eventually, if you're as fortunate as we are, you get to know him better. And you understand he has a delicate sense of how to get along with people and how to treat people.
Jer, it's finally here, the day that I get to marry my best friend, and you officially make me the luckiest and happiest woman in the world. The first time I saw you at Reed, I knew there was something about you that I wouldn't be able to walk away from. Since that first day, I have carried you with me everywhere. You have been dancing around the walls of my heart and filled my life with love and light. Now, 5 years later, I can't believe I get to marry the handsome man who I met in front of the library.
Many of you probably know this, but Hannah was a Reed baby, which is a very odd start in life. Hannah and I, shortly after I graduated, we moved back to Maine. She was about 3. And we basically sort of took on life together. Sort of everything I did, she did. And Hannah and I were really a unit. It was the two of us really starting out in life. What I saw that turn into was this fierce protectiveness and loyalty and a sensitivity to the world around her.
I don't know how each of you got to know Hannah, but I was very lucky because I got to know her at about age 4 or 5 days. Right here in Portland, Hannah was her mother's daughter, and very early on, she was her mother's friend. She learned at a very young age that she had to be strong for others. And there is not a single word that is more appropriate to this day in describing Hannah than strong.
Hannah, who brought sunshine and focus into Jer's life. When he spoke her name, his eyes lit up. Being together with the two of them meant a lot of laughter, teasing, hugs, and joy. and I saw my son becoming a man, still very sensitive to the goddess side. But now her name was Hannah.
We're gathered together here before God and this company to join in matrimony this man and this woman.
Jeremy, you are my partner, my person, my home. You know me better than anyone in the world, and yet somehow you still manage to love me with your whole heart. I stand here today feeling like the luckiest person in the world. Thank you, Jeremy, my kind, funny, patient, wonderful best friend, for picking me.
Before she could communicate the idea or formulate it, she proved herself to be loyal in a way that was so important to her mother and her family. And there is no trait that better epitomizes Hannah Stein than loyalty. She's strong and she's loyal. That's my granddaughter, Hannah.
This sort of incredible loyalty and inclusiveness is now extended to this incredible man and this incredible family. So I try to think about how this could have happened, what I might have done right, how we ended up with these incredible people and now these incredible families. And I don't know the answer. I just say we celebrate it fully. So to you, to love and to hope and to goodwill.
There were whisperings of Jeremy before I met him. But soon after, it was clear that he is someone you want in your corner. He came to the rescue when Hannah, in a panic, told me we needed to drive to San Francisco for a visa. So Jeremy took the lead. He drove us 10 hours to his mom's beautiful home in Sausalito. And while Hannah and Jeremy both had their moments of moodiness during this trip, it was also abundantly clear that they were totally falling for each other. I had a sneaking suspicion this wouldn't be the last we would see of him. How do you feel?
Awesome. I don't know. It's crazy.
We're happy to be here.
I'm so glad you guys are here.
Thanks for including us.
Aww.
Jeremy is the kindest, most generous person. We have supported each other through everything: the complicated social dynamics of elementary school, the further trials of middle school. We had what I remember as literally endless discussions about when the voices had dropped for the boys in my class and when I thought Jeremy's voice would drop. And then much later on 9/11, when I felt for the first time in my life a true responsibility for my little brother. And what I realized in those moments was that apart from our parents and family, what we had above all was each other. At that moment, and through all the moments of our childhood, there was no one else in the world who would ever know or understand the two of us the way we knew and understood each other.
I promise to love you always, to care for you, to laugh with you, to stand by your side no matter how stormy the weather. I will strive every day to be worthy of your love. I promise to celebrate your triumphs and love you even more for your failures. I promise to be sympathetic when the Mets lose. I promise to be honest, patient, and forgiving. I can't wait to start the next adventure with you. I love you.
In these years of long-distance friendship with Jeremy, he has somewhat come to be my psychiatrist. Like, one call every 3 months is about enough to reassure me there's always someone who's believing in me and giving me confidence in what I do. Jeremy's trust and friendship and support comes unconditional. Jeremy has been family to me, and I could go around the world and meet him and I'd be at home. And you're adding to that. It's even more a home now than before.
What I really want to say is, I love you. I love everything about you. I love your sense of humor, your kind soul, your love of nature, your empathy, your mind. You've inspired me to grow into a person I am proud of. You're my much better half, my partner in life, my home. I can't wait to start this next journey with you. I love you always. Your Hanny Bear.
I first became aware of the handsome Jeremy, bald spot or not, when Hannah returned to Portland after they drove cross-country together. Jeremy, being the very generous man that he is, agreed to accompany Hannah on this trek, for which I can only imagine the reason being to spend as much time as possible with her before she would leave for study abroad in Spain. They decided to go their separate ways, but I think we all had an inkling that this was not a forever end to the story of Jeremy and Hannah. While Hannah walked the streets of Spain, Jeremy lived a life of solitude in Mammoth Lakes. Living this hermit lifestyle, it's no wonder that he finally woke up to the fact that Hannah was the girl for him. And from that point on, I think we all understood what Jeremy had already concluded those nights out in the California desert, that this was true everlasting love.
I, Hannah, take you, Jeremy,
I, Hannah, take you, Jeremy,
to be my husband and my love,
to be my husband and my love,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
To have and to hold from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health.
And upon this promise,
And upon this promise,
I pledge to you my heart and honor.
I pledge to you my heart and honor.
I pledge to you my heart and honor.
That was actually last year when you guys visited me. You had gone already, and I went through some very emotional, like, life-changing decisions. And I've kind of sat there in the living room, and Jeremy was sitting next to me, and he read the newspaper, and that got so emotional that I just didn't happen for a long time, that I cried out of happiness. I'm not sure if you guys are at that stage of your relationship yet, where you come into the room and you just start crying out of happiness because you see this guy reading the newspaper, you know? But I'm sure you will get there.
We couldn't be happier to celebrate this love story. Hannah, you've won our hearts, and now Jeremy has won yours.
Hannah, we loved you then, we love you now, and we love you even more with Jeremy in your life. After all, isn't this what we all hope for in a best friend and life partner? That their presence in our lives will bring out the very best in us.
So you may have found your knight in shining armor, but just so you know,
You're stuck with us for life!
I am the luckiest human being. I know everybody says that, but I can't not say it. I'll follow in everybody's footsteps. I don't even care. I am in love, and stop it. And I know I'm someone who like sits and thinks and looks out windows at views all the time. Like I think about, is it really possible to be happy in life? Because there's always that part of you that's just like, what about the grass is always greener? But this is the greenest grass I could have imagined, and it's better than I ever imagined.
My dearest Hanny Chubbs, you know me better than I know myself. Sometimes when I feel you knowing me, it feels like you're tickling my heart. I love being known by you. I know you too better than you think. I see all of you, and it's the only view I want to see.
I remember him talking about a girl, Reed, and then I said, I want to see a picture. And he reluctantly showed me a picture, and I said, yeah, she's the one. And I knew it just they had to reunite, and they did. And I'm very thankful for it.
We are lucky and proud to have this strong, loyal, elegant woman, this dedicated, devoted, detailed man. So I ask you, take a glass and raise your glass to Jeremy and Hannah. Raise it to this life that they have brought to us, as I guess I'm allowed to say l'chaim. To love, to their dedication, their special capacity, to Hannah and Jeremy.
Is it a...
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
They're closed.
Keep them closed.
They're closed. They're closed. What is the sound? Oh my God. Is there a car right here? Jesus. Holy shit! Oh my... What? Oh my...
It's our getaway car.
Oh my God.
I had the immense fortune to be the person who introduced Jeremy and Hannah back in college. Though as happy I am to have that ovation, I feel that their meeting was inevitable to a certain extent, and I'm not going to stand here and make sweeping claims about fate and destiny, but there does seem to me something absolutely inevitable that a couple people who are so focused on the others around them and what they can bring to other people should have found kindred spirits nearby.
I'm beyond happy that Jeremy and you found each other and that he got you, and like from the first day I met you, that was just perfect.
Before God and this company, I now pronounce them husband and wife. You may exchange a gift.
Oh my God! You seriously look amazing. You look like James Bond. That's the goal.
You look so incredible. This is the most beautiful dress I've ever seen.
I don't know how this happened, but I'm ready for everything. I can't wait to care for you and nurture you and share everything with you. I have so many ways of putting this, my love, that you are my one, my only, my heart. I love you until I die and after. Jer.